guys, welcome back. The banana phase of the crypto bull cycle has just started. This is the part of the cycle where real wealth is made. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 50 basis points. This is the first rate cut in over 4 years. We are already starting to see the effects of this rate cut. The dust hasn't even settled yet, so we're going to see more bullish price action over the next few weeks. But many of you, apart from seeing what you're seeing now, are wondering, well, what are the key effects here? What's so significant about all of this? Well, one of them is the increased demand for riskier assets. And this is why, one of the biggest reasons why I've been saying to everyone, use September as a way to increase key positions. Use this as an opportunity to position yourself in the right projects, because ultimately when liquidity flows into the market, once money starts to pour into the market, a lot of it will go towards riskier asset classes such as cryptocurrency, such as stocks, right? The lower interest rates makes traditional savings, low yield investments like bonds less appealing. So there's a shift that happens in the short term, and we're going to see the effects of this shift. So what can you do right now to profit from this part of the cycle? The first thing is rebalance your portfolio for growth. This is super important. Focus on the most profitable trends in the market. Make sure you're positioned to ride these trends. An example of this, right, I'm not saying do this, but an example of this would be simple. For example, let's say you're in real world assets. It's maybe had its move in the first half of this year, and a new narrative is coming into play. Let's just say it's the AI narrative. Well, what I would do is shift away from this real world asset narrative and maybe increase my positions in the AI narrative or the NFT narrative, etc. Right? So I would start to look for the biggest growth narrative and maximize my percentage gains there. This is how people walk away with 100x's within the space of 3 to 4 months. It's because they're positioned in the right narratives. We saw this in the last cycle. So that's the first thing. I would start rebalancing my portfolio. That's number one. Number two, I would start looking for the next big opportunities, right? So instead of just sitting on the projects that you currently have, right, which many people tend to do, they get lazy, or they say, look, I'm happy with the projects I have. These projects made me money maybe at the start of the year or maybe in the last cycle, so I'm just going to sit on these projects and hold. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make. Instead, at this stage in the cycle, you need to start looking for different opportunities. And we could do this by moving our capitals into key projects that have the potential to grow significantly going into Q4, so into October and 2025. Do not assume because the projects that you held at the start of the year will do well. Don't assume because the projects that you're holding did well in the last cycle, they will do well. This is how a lot of people actually end up missing out on opportunities, even though they might be in the market at the moment. They've worked their ass off all year, but then they end up not realizing that they basically end up not achieving the best that they could. And then you have people that just come into the market right at the end. They've literally done zero work and they overtake you. They make more money than you. And ultimately they end up achieving all their goals and dreams just by tapping into one narrative. We saw this last year and many of you may have missed these trends. Do not let that happen to you this time. The banana phase of the cycle has officially begun. So I would no longer have the fear about whether the market is going to go down now. Are we going to 40,000? I mean, this is not even a conversation anymore. The conversation is, how high do we climb? How do we strategically take profits? How do we position ourselves in key projects and more? This is the conversation now. And ultimately, you do not want to miss out on the growth that is coming, because you will regret it. And I'm telling you, when this is all said and done, when the opportunity is gone and everybody else has made their money, everybody else sells off into the sunset, you're going to be wondering, why don't I ever get this right? Why am I always being left behind? And one of the reasons is the inability to take action, the inability to pivot, right? This simple decisions that you make now could change your life forever. So the cycle, the banana phase of the cycle has officially begun. This is your opportunity to change your life forever and make significant, life-changing amounts of money, not even in 2025, but within the next 3 months. And that's what we're doing right now with our CC Premium members. We're positioning ourselves for glory. We're planning to maximize on this opportunity as much as possible. We were buying in September when everybody was getting scared, which is fine. But there's still an opportunity for you to start building with us. You can do that right now. Get positions in the right narrative. Start buying the right projects. And of course, start buying those new projects going into October and 2025 that are going to be those 100Xs, those 20Xs, those 30Xs. Remember, you only need 3 10Xs to make $1 million now. So let's say you achieve at least 1 or 2 10Xs leading into November. Well, you're pretty much set. If you can turn 10K into 100 grand, you only need 1 more 10X in order to achieve that $1 million target. But for now, let's just position ourselves for glory. Let's actually take action. I'll see you all in CC Premium now. Click the link below. This is it now. Remember, this part of the cycle is not about us going down or whether things are going to bounce back. This is about making sure you are not left behind. You're not one of those people yet again that miss out, and then everybody else is celebrating. Everybody else is buying their dream houses, buying their dream cars, taking care of their families. And once again, you've missed out because for whatever reason, you just haven't done the right thing. So let's break that cycle today and let's take action. I'll see you all in CC Premium now. Sign up to the link below. Let's go.